Realistically, people are not going to be paying like £80 for a bloody retinol. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not realistic. Let me just take my hair out actually, so I don't look like an egg through this whole section, this whole segment. So I cleansed with the CeraVe, I think it's just called Creamy Cleanser, the one that doesn't foam, in the shower. After that, I go in with this Botanics Organic Revitalising Mist. I don't know if I've shown you guys this before, but it just makes my face feel really fresh. It's supposed to be quite hydrating. I think it has glycerin and some rose flower oil, a couple other things. I find it quite soothing for my skin because I'm prone to like rosacea and redness, and I just generally have sensitive skin. Almost out of that. And next I go in with the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid and B5. And I also use the niacinamide zinc. Sometimes I find this irritating depending on like what mood my skin is in, so I tend to combine the two, and I find that helps my skin to deal with the niacinamide a bit better. I don't know if the hyaluronic acid kind of prevents the niacinamide being absorbed so quickly, or, you know, like dilutes it down a little bit, but that seems to work well for me, so that's what I do. I'm not sure what's going on at the moment. My skin is really textured. It tends to be textured anyway because I have very dry skin. So it tends to be like rough feeling, you know, but at the moment it's really bumpy. And I've got like, I don't know what it is, or especially around my jawline and here. I don't know if it's like milk spots or milia. I get them sometimes, and some of them go away on their own. Sometimes I try to get rid of them. I know you're not supposed to do that, but it costs a lot of money to go and get them professionally extracted. But I think I just keep getting more and more of them, and I don't really know why. I'm not really using any comedogenic skincare products. I haven't really changed my skincare routine for quite a while, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. If it carries on, maybe I need to see like a doctor, a dermatologist or something, and just ask them, you know, what the hell's going on. Sometimes I'm really lazy, and other times I will use my little roller. And actually, because it's really warm in the UK at the moment, this is really nice because it's really cooling, like naturally, because obviously this one's made of jade, an actual, you know, like a proper rock, and it's really cool and I enjoy it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it really. Well, I have well, there's a hair in my face and I can't, I think it's gone. No, it hasn't. Where is it? Let me look in the mirror. It should be gone now. I kind of like roll outwards and downwards here. I think that's supposed to help kind of toxins and excess fluid and things leave your face. I do wake up with a puffy face quite a lot. I overheat during the night, and yeah, I'm a side and tummy sleeper as well, which I also know is not that healthy for you. But sometimes because I've been sleeping like that, I wake up with quite a puffy face. I also have the gua sha thing. Sometimes use that instead if I feel like I really want to get in there, you know, and like especially in my cheekbones. Then I go in with an eye cream. At the moment I'm using the Kiehl's Creamy Eye Treatment, the avocado one. I know this one's quite expensive, but I found that it's actually quite a large pot and it's lasted me ages, and I bought it because somebody recommended, like as I'm getting a little bit older, that I should probably invest in a better eye cream, because I'm using the caffeine one sometimes and the retinol one from Boots, which are fine, but I feel like because I'm getting more like dry and lines and stuff, I need to really pack in some hydration there. But at the moment I've just been using this avocado one, and apparently it's really good under makeup as well, which is also the reason why I bought it really, because someone said to me that it might help my concealer sit better under my eyes where I'm getting like it sinking into my fine lines and stuff. I just use a really small amount, like a small pea, and then I split it and I just dab it on like that. So I focus on the outer area where I have more lines. That's where I really need the benefit of an eye product. eye cream, and then I'll slowly like move into the corner of my eye there, and then I take the excess and I don't want too much on my eyelids because they're quite oily anyway. Well, I say they're oily, but they also have eczema sometimes. It's very confusing, my skin. As my main facial moisturiser, I use this moisturising lotion from CeraVe. This one isn't specifically for face, but I have checked it. It does say moisturises and helps restore the protective skin barrier of the face and body, and this one is cheaper than like one of the specific facial ones that you get, like SPF ones or the smaller ones. So I just buy this. Sometimes I also use this on my legs after I shave them. It's fast absorbing, and normally, unless I'm having a bath and then like moisturising a couple of hours before bed, I don't like putting anything too heavy on my skin, on my body, because I don't know if any of you experience this, but I just get that feeling where, especially if I'm warm, where it's not sinking in, it makes me feel like I'm suffocating in my own skin. But this one isn't heavy, it's quite a light cream and it absorbs quite quickly. So if I need to get dressed, or if I'm just not feeling like a thick, heavier cream, then this is the one. But this is great for my face. It's non-comedogenic as well. Sometimes this is not thick enough if I'm having like a really bad, like dry period. So what I'll do is I'll go in with one layer of this, see how my skin absorbs it, then I might go in with the second one, or I might layer up with something more emollient, something that is going to kind of sit on my skin a little bit more and protect my skin barrier. But it all depends kind of what phase I'm in with my skin. We've been doing really well, apart from this weird texture that I've got going on. I haven't had, fingers crossed, touch wood, like one of those big flare-ups like you might have seen on my channel, where the whole centre of my face and my eyelids and everything is like red and angry. At least 6 months. I think it might be like 10 months or something since I've had one of those, so I'm obviously doing something right. Another moisturiser that I quite like is the Simple Hydrating Light Moisturiser. Again, there's no bells and whistles, it's nothing special, it's just a very basic light moisturiser. It has some niacinamide in it and some vitamin B5 and E, and it says it's fast absorbing. I have to be really careful. I've tried so many different facial creams and I break out, or I have some sort of reaction where my skin becomes really inflamed and angry, or I get eczema. And these, even though, you know, there's nothing fancy in these, there's no super active ingredients or anything like that, these basic simple moisturisers, not just Simple the brand, just Simple in general, seem to be what my skin likes. Like fragrances and anything in there that is unnecessary, my skin's like, nope. So I've just learned now that I just stick to these basic ones. If I need more, I can go in with 2 layers, or I can buy like another cream, a thicker cream. I've got one over there, I think is the Enquiries ceramide or peptide something. It's like a little pot. That one's quite good as well, but not so much if I'm having a bit of irritation. But that's a bit thicker. What else have I used? I've used the Skin Rocks Rich Moisturiser. Not as affordable, and it's not something that I can personally afford to keep buying. I didn't purchase that myself. I got that as part of a gift set for taking part in their campaign, like their social media campaign for the Rich Moisturiser. And that's a really nice one, the unscented or unfragranced version. It's really thick, especially at night. Like, I really like that one. There's not that many moisturisers I found that are like thick, really, really thick and like super hydrating, that don't irritate me. So if you do know of any, let me know in the comments, because like if I can find a holy grail moisturiser that is budget friendly, and you know, I don't need to go in with 2 layers of my CeraVe, that would be great. Ah. I've also got these Aveeno Baby Daily Care Moisturising Lotion for sensitive skin. My sister got a load of samples free, so she gave a few to me, and I've been using that on other areas of my body that are eczema prone, so like the back of my neck, sometimes in the creases of my arms. I know it's supposed to be for babies, but that usually means that it's extra gentle and suitable for people with sensitive skin and redness, rosacea, irritation, whatever. So yeah, I've been using that in the areas where I sometimes get eczema, and it seems to be working quite well. I used to like the actual Aveeno normal cream for like face and body. I have used that in the past when I've been having really bad problems with my eczema. I know it's like a trusted brand for those types of skin issues. Anything that has this prebiotic oatmeal, I think that's what they call it, is really good for your skin and the skin barrier, and that's why it helps with those like dry skin conditions. I'm not sure what else it helps with, but I know that it's recommended for people with like eczema and dermatitis and stuff like that. I always take my products down onto my neck as well. I should do my chest, but sometimes I'm already dressed or like, you know, wearing my pajamas, or in this situation I'm not going to get my boobs out in the video. I try to go right up to here as well, this area under your ear. Apparently that ages quite rapidly ahead of like the rest of your skin, so your neck and these parts here apparently really like delicate skin, so you need to make sure that you take care of it. As you know, this is the first time I've recorded long form in ages, but yeah, I'll be back to show you my nighttime skincare routine, how I remove my makeup and everything later in the day. Guys, we made it. It's the end of the day, well, the end of the night, whatever. And then I've successfully managed to record the hair, makeup and skincare. I'm exhausted though. But thank God I can go to bed soon. So most of my skincare is the same. So you would have just seen in the shower, because I had makeup on, I used the Body Shop Chamomile Cleansing Balm, I think it is. I like that one. It does give me a lot of fog in my eyes, you know, like it gets into your eyes. It doesn't sting that badly, but it just I can't see very well after I use it until I've like washed it all out. The other one that I tried recently was the Beauty Crop Cleansing Balm, specifically the Grace's Faces one, which is the pink one. I used that because I saw Maggie on TikTok use it. If you don't know Maggie, she does a lot of makeup videos and also hair. Her and her partner also have like another channel where they do some fun couple stuff. But she does this thing where she tries like literally every cleansing balm that exists and gives a review of it. She said it's one of the best ones she's ever used. She barely gets any fog and she gets zero sting. And I was like, that's what I need. But I don't have it here. I think I left it in my sister's. So that's the only one I have at the moment. It does a good enough job. It gets all the makeup off, including heavy eye makeup. So yeah, I used that. Then I went in with my normal cleanser as the second cleanse, which is the CeraVe Cream Cleanser. And today I also went in with a vitamin C, I think it's an exfoliating cleanser kind of thing. It's not like a really aggressive scrub, it's got like very, very fine grains of, I don't know if it's sugar or something. I think it smells like oranges, but I think it's supposed to smell like pomegranate or something. It helps to just get like any makeup that's like really deep in there. And it also takes off the dead skin layers. I only use that once a week or less. I don't really use like an exfoliator like that because I have such sensitive skin. I don't go in with super strong acids or anything like that because my skin doesn't respond well to them. Occasionally I'll use a lactic acid serum, but yeah, anything that's really stripping or anything like that, it just does my skin barrier no good whatsoever. So that's the only one that I've found where if I use it like once a week or less, I don't seem to get any irritation or consequences from using it, you know. My routine is pretty similar. Obviously we add on the second cleanse, so if I don't have any makeup or SPF on, to be fair, even if I had SPF on, I'd probably just cream cleanse twice because it's not that difficult to break down. I don't find it is anyway, so 2 cleanses with the CeraVe seems to be fine, but it's when I've got makeup on that I'll use like an oil product or a balm or something like that. Then the cream cleanser, then again I use whatever kind of hydrating mist I've got, which is the same one I used earlier. This is from Boots, by the way. Let's see if I can get the last of this out. There we go. and today I'm using vitamin C. I don't use this every day. I use this every 2 or 3 days in the evening, just a few drops of this. And I wasn't sure whether to use this before or after my hyaluronic acid serum. But when I looked online, it said it might be better to use it before, because if you use it afterwards, the hyaluronic acid might facilitate the vitamin C into the skin quicker and you can get more irritation. Don't know if that's true, but I've been doing it this way around instead and it seems to be fine. So just a few drops. I always put it on my hand first, kind of rub it in and then. Let me check how strong it is actually. Oh, it does say 10% pure vitamin C. But there are some other vitamin Cs, I couldn't tell you the name of any of them because it's been a while since I've used anything else, that I've not reacted well to. Like my skin is quite funny with actives, so vitamin C, retinol is another one, or retinoids, whichever form it's in. My skin just doesn't respond well to them whatsoever. I think there's only one that I found, which was the Skin Rocks one, which again I was gifted. That's the only one that seems to have not broken me out. And I think it has been specifically designed for people with really sensitive, dry skin. It's in a particular form for those skin types. Other than that, I tried Charlotte Tilbury night cream, which I think might have retinol or something in it. Completely broke out my skin. I don't know if I tried a Boots night cream as well that also had retinol in it, and my skin was just so angry the next day. I can't remember which one it was. There was one I used back in September and I actually used it like a couple of days before my birthday, and I woke up the next day, my face was on fire, literally on fire. I'll be doing a whole video about that anyway, like how I deal with my skin when that kind of thing happens. But yeah, it was mad. It wasn't something I could even cover with makeup because I would have to like put so much makeup on, and it was so irritated that the last thing I wanted to do was put makeup on. So I had to go out looking like, I don't even know, but it was just awful. Yeah, not a good experience. So if any of you have any retinol, retinoids, whatever, recommendations for like really sensitive skin that's prone to eczema, rosacea, etc., that are gentle and really still work without blowing your face off, then let me know because I would love to find one. And also it needs to be within budget, like reasonable budget. Realistically, people are not going to be paying like £80 for a bloody retinol. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not realistic. As normal people, we need budget products. So now that's soaked in a bit, I'm just going to take my ordinary hyaluronic acid. I love hyaluronic acid. It's probably my favourite ingredient, obviously because I have dry skin. Anything that hydrates me, yes please. I don't know why I can't talk today. When I just said please, it came out please. Anyway, I think we'll do a retinol eye cream. I do have the Kiehl's again here, but I don't use that every single time. So this is just the Boots retinol eye cream. I take a small pea-sized and I use that across both eyes. And again, I start the outside here where I've got more texture and lines, and then I work it in. Sometimes I pat, sometimes I just glide. Depends how I'm feeling. I don't think you're supposed to glide really because it kind of tugs on your skin, but I think when it's still like really wet and hasn't soaked in yet, it's not really pulling the skin. And I also take it in around the hollow as well, like under the eyebrow. And then any excess on my fingers, I'll just put it there, or under my ears here. Where did I put my CeraVe moisturiser? I don't know. Tonight I'm going to go in with one layer of my simple moisturiser. I just use a small amount like that. And I tend not to go over where I put the eye cream. I think once you've got an eye cream there, you don't really need to go over with the moisturiser as well, but just in case you do run over the same area, all of the products that I use at the moment, there's no, what's the word? There's no disagreement between the products. I don't get any pilling or anything like that when I layer the products. The only product that I own where I've noticed that things start peeling off after I've applied them is when I use my ordinary azelaic acid, this one, which I'm supposed to use regularly because of the redness, rosacea, everything. It's supposed to help that stuff. But this stuff is really strange. It comes out like a gel kind of cream. It says to use it after water-based serums, which is fine. But when I do that, I leave it a while to like soak in, not going with my moisturiser too quickly. But it kind of like dries, like makes my face feel really tight. So it feels like it's completely soaked in. So then I'll go in with my moisturiser after like 10 minutes or so. I start getting like rolls of product, you know, where you just touch your face like that and it's just rolling off. This is the only thing that does it, which is annoying because I've got this whole 100ml thing to get through, and obviously it is beneficial for my skin type. But I don't know if I should be using it last, because these are water-based moisturisers, whether I should put my moisturiser on first, let that sink in, and then go in with this last. It doesn't say that, but I mean, how else am I supposed to use it if everything just keeps rolling off my face every time I use it? No, I just check that moisturiser is soaking in. Yep. So I can tell already that I need another layer of moisturiser, especially in the centre of my face, like here, because that moisturiser's already soaked right in. My skin is not feeling like super juicy. And because I've applied makeup today and I've had to go through the whole process of double cleanse and all of this, my skin could potentially be slightly irritated, even though it doesn't look it right now. So I'm going in with the Bioma Barrier treatment, which is like a cream, but it's a bit more emollient. So some of it penetrates your skin, but it kind of sits on the surface a bit more, and I guess tries to protect and heal your skin barrier. And I've used it in the past. I don't use it every day. I probably use it like a couple of times a week. Maybe when I think, oh, my skin's been through it a bit more today, or if I just feel like maybe it needs a bit more protection overnight to try and prevent me waking up with a flare-up tomorrow. Just take 2 like half pumps, I guess. And I just focus this on the centre of my face, because that's where I get most of my irritation, if anything does happen. And then I'll have a little bit left on my fingers, and I just put that on my eyelids. I don't really use anything on my eyelids, but they are prone to like eczema and stuff, so occasionally I will just put a little bit of something to help the skin barrier there too, but not a lot, just like the remnants, because the skin's really thin there. You don't need a lot. Bioma's really good actually. I haven't used their cleanser yet. I have used their gel moisturiser, their rich moisturiser. What else have I used? I may have looked at some of the other stuff but not actually bought it. But I believe their milky toner is really good. I think it's supposed to be like a dupe for the Rhode glazing milk. Glazing milk? Yeah, I think it's called glazing milk, isn't it? But interestingly, I found a dupe for Bioma in B&M recently. When I was staying with my sister, obviously I can't take all of my skincare with me, so I just take the main items. And then I was in B&M and I was like, this looks vaguely familiar, and I think it was called Myomi, or basically it was the same word with a couple letters switched out, and they looked very similar. These kind of square packaging with rounded corners, just more shiny packaging, and they had a milky toner and they had a gel moisturiser. And I thought, you know what, let me try these, because they were literally like £3 each or something, which, even though this is considered a relatively affordable skincare brand, that is super affordable, you know. So yeah, I just picked up a bunch of it and started using it. They also have I can't remember what they call it. Basically, they have like a mist. It's not called like a rescue mist, but you know, the Tower 28 had like a mist that went viral because it had something in it that is for redness. So people have been using it before makeup and as part of their skincare routine to help with the skin barrier and stop your skin being irritated and to reduce redness in your face. And I don't know if it's allantoin, but that's the ingredient that was in the dupe from B&M. I really like that spray. So every morning, instead of using this because I didn't have it with me, I would use that spray as like a rescue kind of mist to make sure my skin wasn't getting irritated. And then I would use their version of a milky toner in the evenings before I go to bed. Didn't have a reaction to any of it. As I said earlier, my skin has been like really good, touch wood, fingers crossed, for the last 6 months minimum. I've had the odd like puffy eye or something, but I haven't had any of that, like just because I think I've been sticking to similar products, or when I have branched out, I've been checking there's no acids, nothing too active in them, concentrations are not crazy high. The order of things as well that I put on my face, I try to be careful about that, not using too much and just not doing too much to my face as well. But I'm going to do a whole other video anyway about flare-ups, how I manage them and how I prevent them, or how I have been preventing them from happening, which might help some people, because I know there's a lot of us out there with like dry and sensitive skin. Sometimes it just flares up for no reason whatsoever. It could just be the environment, or I don't know, stress. It could be nothing that you're actually using, but it could just be a coincidence. Sometimes it is stuff you're using. But yeah, it's really helpful to know what works for other people may work for you. So yeah, that was my nighttime skincare routine. I am done, guys. I am going to bed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.